Welcome, I'm Kim, coming to you from La Romana in the Dominican Republic. Today, I promise to give you a fantastic view and a fantastic yoga class as well. So let's begin. But first, I want to share with you a story. It's a Cherokee story about a grandfather who's talking to his grandson, and he's telling him about the tale of two wolves. The grandfather says there's one wolf that is angry and mean and scary, and the other wolf is friendly and kind and honest and has integrity. And the boy asks the grandfather, "Grandfather, which wolf wins?" And the grandfather says, "The one you feed." So today, think about which wolf you're feeding, the good wolf or the bad wolf. Hopefully this yoga practice will help you to feel that experience of, I'm going to feed what's good inside. So for today's practice, have a strap or a belt handy and have water. And this is going to be my makeshift chair, but feel free to pull up a chair if you don't have a peer next to you. All right, so let's begin in mountain pose. So bringing your feet parallel right under your hips and rocking forward and back, beginning to find the centers of your soles. Shifting your weight from your right foot to left foot. So we're seeking the four corners of our feet to be connected to the earth or to the pier, whatever you're standing on. Lift your 10 toes for a moment and notice when you do that, there's an engagement of your leg muscles, an engagement of your core muscles. Turn your palms to face forward and let your crown reach a little bit higher up toward the sky. So this is our grounding posture, mountain pose, to help us to center and to arrive into our bodies. So feel free if you'd like to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And let's take 8 breaths in mountain pose to begin our practice. Two more. Before we begin movement, check in with this deepest, wise part of yourself. Check in and ask your heart what it could use today. Maybe set an intention or a prayer for what you could use today. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, sweep your arms up toward the sun. And exhale, bringing your hands to prayer at your heart. And reversing that movement. Inhale, stretch up toward the sun. Exhale, bringing hands back to prayer. A few times with that movement. Opening your chest and shoulders, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart space. Reaching up, stretching your ribs. Roll your shoulders back and down. A few more sun breaths. Keep your core engaged, legs engaged. So it may not look like much is happening from the outside, but can you feel how much strength is going on inside you? Last one. All right. So bringing your chair upright, so holding on to the back of your chair for downward facing dog. Stepping your feet back and just getting a good stretch through your spine. Feel free to keep your knees bent as much as you like. Reaching your torso back towards your thighs. And your hands can be as wide as you like to keep your chest and shoulders open. Take 4 big breaths in downward facing dog, our modification, our variation. Using a chair makes it so much more accessible than coming down to the mat, coming down to the floor. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, hands to your chair, stepping back for downward facing dog once again. Keep that slight bend in your knees as you reach your sitting bones back. Keep your spine nice and long. 3 more breaths in downward facing dog. And step your right foot forward, step your left foot forward, sweep your arms up toward the sun, and exhale, hands to heart space. 1 more round of downward facing dog. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hands to your chair. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Spine nice and long, broaden your collarbones. Two more breaths. Keep your navel drawing in towards your spine. Strong core. Coming up, step right foot, step left foot, and roll out your wrists. All right, crescent lunge. So taking your right foot forward, hands on your hips, lifting your back heel. Left heel is lifted. This could be done with your back knee on the earth as well, so just knowing that that's available to you. Reach your arms up into goalpost arms. So you've got a little back bend. Back bends are energizing. Also, we feel a nice stretch across chest here in this back bend with our goalpost arms. Keep drawing navel in as you lift your heart. Three more breaths. Bring your hands to your front knee, step your back foot up, and shake out your arms, shake out your legs, bounce your shoulders. Let's take the other side. So with your left foot forward, right foot back, hands on your hips to check that your hips are squared. You could keep your hands on your hips the whole time for crescent lunge. Or we could take that option again of goalpost arms for 5 breaths. So if you were to look down, your front knee would not be going in front of your toes. So just mindful, your knee is over your heel, or maybe it's back here a little bit. Just ensuring that knee does not go past your toes. 3 more breaths. Are you feeling that stretch in your chest? Breathe out the excess tension. 2 more. Hands to your front knee. Step it up. Shake it out. Shake out your wrists. Bounce out your shoulders. This next movement is called no jumping jacks. I don't know if that's the official name, but you'll get the feel of it. So inhale, reach it up. Exhale, keep your chest lifted as you bring your hands down to your knees, bending your knees. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands graze knees, bending your knees. Keep your chest lifted so we're not rounding. Inhale up. Exhale it down. Now the pace is entirely up to you. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep your belly strong, drawing your navel in towards your spine. So you perhaps can feel the cardio effects. Heart rate is perhaps a little bit elevated. And as you take it at your pace, you'll make it right just for your body. A few more, no jumping jacks. For less intensity, just keep your hands in prayer. Bending your knees, weight is in your heels. On this last one, staying in chair, hands could be in prayer, or you could reach your arms out to the sides. Keep drawing navel in, strong core, ensuring weight is in your heels. Woo! We are strong warriors today. Stay with me, my friends. 3 more breaths. Hands on your thighs and come on up. Shake out your limbs. All right, that crescent that we did just a few minutes ago, let's add on to it. So with your right foot forward, left foot back, left heel is lifted. As you inhale, reach arms up. It could be your goalpost arms again. You can stay there or add a twist to your right. Taking 3 more breaths here, twisting or staying center. And we're going to do a little fancy footwork here for Warrior 2. Bring your back arm up, back to crescent, plant your back heel, and come to Warrior 2. So now, check your feet. Let's place our hands on our hips for a moment as we look down, seeing if your front heel is lined up with the center of your back foot, your back arch. Your back foot might be parallel to the end of your mat, your toes angled in very slightly. And we're pushing firmly into the knife edge of your back foot. And when we do that, it energizes that back leg. So keeping your back leg strong. And with your hands on your hips, notice if your back hip is hiked up a little bit, see if you can bring them level. Now imagine you're zipping up a zipper so you'll feel that core engagement. When you look down at your front toe, you can see your big toe. Option to bring your arms up to shoulder height, turning your thumbs up to the sky. That'll create some space in your chest, your pectoral muscles, your collarbones. And then I invite you to gaze over your front fingers, taking 5 breaths. In Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And as you're here, breathing, working, I want to ask you, what wolf are you feeding today? We have a choice. 3 more breaths. Straighten your front leg, reverse triangle. Back hand, back leg. You can keep that front arm right there, or if it's available to you, reaching it up toward the sky. So we get a lateral stretch. Feeling the opening of your front rib cage. Lifting your kneecaps. When you do that, can you feel your quadriceps really hugging the bone? Beautiful. That's some wonderful strengthening today. 2 more breaths in reverse triangle. And let's make our way into triangle pose. So let me show you a couple options. Your hand could come to your shin, or take your hand to your chair, the top of your chair, or even the chair seat. So keeping your side body long, your back arm could stay out here. Maybe it's reaching up to the sky. Really doesn't matter as long as it's right for you. You could even keep your hand on your hip. So do what feels right for your shoulder. And again, keeping your side body nice and long. So even if you could come down here, we don't want to just drop. Using strength. Top shoulder over bottom shoulder. Take a few more breaths in Trikonasana, triangle pose. Legs are fully engaged. Draw the energy up from the bottoms of your feet. 3 more breaths in Trikonasana. Gaze can be forward, it could be up, or it could be down. Just avoid letting your head drop. Moving into half moon. So shifting the weight to your front foot and using your chair, lifting your back leg. So look at your back leg and see if your foot is flexed. If you've got a wall close by, you could even push that foot right into the wall. So both legs are active, super active. Super active. Top hand could remain on your hip, or maybe you want to reach it up toward the sky. Strong core, strong legs. So if somebody walked into the room right now, they would think, oh, you're not doing too much, but you can feel it. There's so much engagement right now in your whole body. And breathing. 3 more breaths in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. And coming out of that. Whoo! Oh my goodness. That was beautiful. We've got the other side to do. So this time, stepping left foot forward, coming into crescent lunge. Left foot forward, reach your arms up, back heel is lifted. Lifting your rib cage. Remember, your arms are wherever you need them to be. Goalpost arms are great. Prayer hands are great. Stay there, or if you'd like to add on, taking the twist. Taking the twist. Wringing out tension in your spine. 3 more breaths. Now let's do that fancy footwork again. Reach your arms up and spin your back heel down as you come into Warrior 2. So place your hands on your hips for a moment and see if they feel even. Check to see that your shoulders are over your hips. Check to see if you've got heel to arch alignment. And notice if your back knee is bent. See if you could straighten it a little bit more. When you do that, pressing into the knife edge of your foot, you might feel that real strong engagement in your thighs. Hands could stay on hips or bring them up to shoulder height, thumbs up, and gazing over your front fingers. Maybe bending that front knee a little bit more, recalling that we don't want to take knee in front of toes. Back here is totally fine. 3 more breaths in Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Reverse triangle, straightening your front leg, hand on your back thigh. Lifting your top arm to your comfort level. Top palm faces the wall behind you. Keep lifting your kneecaps. Our legs are working. Core working. I'm recalling that Helen Keller quote that said, if you keep your face to the sun, you'll never see the shadows. All right, coming into triangle pose. Hand to shin or your chair seat or the top of the chair. Gaze can be up. Gaze can be neutral, straight ahead, or gaze can be down. Just avoid letting your head drop. If top shoulder is not happy with reaching, totally fine to have your hand on your hip. Spin your top shoulder back so it's stacking over your bottom shoulder. Navel to spine. 4 more breaths in Trikonasana. Moving into half moon pose. But first, a sip of water. Always staying hydrated. For our half moon pose, hand on your chair, lifting your back foot, reaching up toward the sky. Really engage that back leg. Drawing navel in, take a few more breaths in half moon. And bring it down, circle out your hips. Are you feeling stronger? I hope so. Ask yourself what wolf you're feeding today. Make it the good one. All right, lizard pose. This is a nice hip opener. So let's place our foot onto our chair. So starting with right foot, You can take your right foot off to the right side a little bit more to deepen the stretch. And bringing forearms down or just staying with straight arms. Keep your chest nice and long. Feeling the stretch into your right hip flexor. Maybe into your glutes a little bit. Let your breathing smooth out. Done a lot of nice strengthening and balancing today. So getting this hip opener before we come down to the earth for some longer stretches. All right, let's switch legs. Bringing your left foot onto the chair seat. Maybe scooting your left foot over to the left side a little bit more. Arms could stay straight or maybe coming down to forearms. Again, we're always super mindful of how we move. Moving to things slowly, not forcing, taking care of our bodies. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back body. Shoulders moving away from your ears. Three more breaths in lizard. Wonderful. Releasing out, using your chair to come down to the mat now. Coming down slowly. And let's take a sip of water again. So important for us to stay hydrated. Pigeon pose is a hip opener. It can be done in a number of ways. The option we're going to take today is to sit upright and bring left ankle onto right knee. So avoid rounding your back. We want to keep our spine nice and long. It may help to place blocks or something under your hands if you'd like some more elevation. So you could keep your right foot forward. If it's available to you, lift your hips and scooch forward. Is that a real word? I'm not even sure, but scooch your hips forward a little bit. Keep breathing. Always mindful of our breath. Whether we're in yoga class or anything else, catch yourself throughout the day. Notice, am I breathing shallow? Could I breathe a little bit deeper? It helps so much to take some deep breaths. It helps for anxious thoughts or sad thoughts. Being mindful of breath helps us to find that balance. All right. So let's bend that bottom knee and bring your foot outside of your knee for Matsyendrasana. Now, if bending your bottom knee does not feel comfortable, feel free, feel free to straighten it. I'm going to keep mine straight, but either way, whatever's good for you. Hugging your front shin, you can stay right there or add your twist, bringing your arm outside your knee, or you can bend your arm. And taking 5 breaths in Matsyendrasana twist. Two more breaths. All right, release. We've got the other side. So bending your knees, bringing your right ankle onto your left knee. Keeping your chest lifted. Maybe you want to scoot your hips forward a little bit more to feel that stretch. How are you enjoying this view behind me? How are you feeling that stretch? I hope you're enjoying both. 2 more breaths. All right, bringing your foot to the mat, bottom knee bent or straight. You could stay right here in center or taking your twist. All right, straighten, extend your left leg out, your right knee is bent. Turn towards your straight leg and walk your body forward to your comfort level. I'm going to take my strap. You might want to take your strap too. Place it around the bottom of your foot and drawing your heart towards your toes. Long spine. There's a little bit of a twist here, so mindful that it's okay for your back. 4 breaths in Janu Shirshasana. So the word asana means pose. So when I say Trikonasana, that's triangle pose. Janu Shirshasana means head to knee pose. And my head's not touching my knee, it doesn't matter. It's just the direction that we're moving. All right, coming up, place your hand behind your hip and reach your top arm up. You can stay right there for 4 breaths, or if it's available to you, lifting your hips in modified wild thing. It's a funny name. I don't know how it got called wild thing. I didn't come up with the names. All right, lower out and let's switch sides. Take your strap around the bottom of your foot, sit up nice and tall, and then hinging forward slowly and just pausing wherever you're feeling the stretch. You might feel it through the entire back of your leg, your hamstring, your calf. And release that strap, hand behind your hip, staying right here with hips down or lifting your hips for 3 big breaths. Maybe circling your top wrist. And coming down. Make our way slowly onto our back. Just one more stretch and then we'll take rest pose to integrate our practice. So very mindfully making your way down onto your back. Take your strap around the bottom of your right foot, holding on to the edges of the strap. So your foot might be away from your body, it might be closer. It's just really dependent on your hamstrings. No good or bad about it. Just feeling it for a few breaths. Now take both ends of the strap into your right hand and take your leg out to the right side. Feeling this stretch in your inner thigh. And bring the strap into your left hand into a twist. So you don't need to come very far. Maybe your foot comes a little bit lower. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure it's comfortable for you. And let's switch sides. Place the strap onto your left foot, holding both ends of the strap. Your right leg could stay bent so your foot is on the floor, or you could straighten it. You do you. And taking your leg over to your left side. You could place your hand on your right hip to be mindful of keeping it down for the most part. Bring your leg back up to center and taking the twist. Sometimes I place my thumb into my hip crease and that helps me to remember to keep my sacrum, low back down for the most part. And removing the strap, make your way onto your back for rest pose, for Shavasana. So begin to turn your head a little bit side to side. Wiggle your shoulders, your hips, so you begin to find an evenness in your right and left sides. Wiggle fingers and toes, and then come to stillness. And allow yourself to rest here in silence for the next minute as the ocean waves serenade you in this peaceful posture of rest. Begin to bring your awareness back. Breathe energy down to your fingertips and toes. Maybe there's some stretching through limbs. Very mindfully roll to your favorite side and take several breaths there in fetal pose. Sliding your hands under your shoulders as you press yourself up into a seat. Sweep your arms out to the sides, up to the sky, bringing prayer hands to third eye, reminding us to live each day with an open mind. And with thumbs coming to heart center, reminding us to live with an open heart. So as you go throughout the rest of your day, I invite you to pay attention to your thoughts. Notice, am I feeding the good wolf? Am I feeding the bad wolf? Choose well. I look forward to seeing you again soon. My name is Kim. Namaste.